Welcome back to Big Movie Mouth Off, the podcast where three Salt Lake City-based critics flail around about film. I'm Jeff Counts.
I'm Brooks Bird.
And I'm Adam McDonald.
This is episode 48. It's a special episode. We're going to only talk about one film, and it's Melania.
Everybody's already tuned off.
I'm joking. That's not what we're going to do. Jeff Bezos may not have any choice about debasing himself, but we do. We're going to talk about two other movies that are not Melania, the documentary. We're going to talk first about Send Help, the Rachel McAdams, Dylan O'Brien comedy,
Sam Raimi.
and Sam Raimi comedy. You probably don't believe me if you've seen the trailers. And then we'll talk about a movie that's moving out of theaters, but it's one that we're very excited to spend some time on, which is 28 years later, The Bone Temple. This is the follow-up to last year's 28 years later film that we all loved so much. The guilty pleasure for this week will be Horrible Bosses, but you're not allowed to choose either of the Horrible Bosses movies.
What about the prequel?
Nope.
Oh, okay. I was thinking Boss Baby was the prequel. So.
Not allowed.
The prequel is life.
This is obviously done in homage to the Send Help film. So, all right, let's jump right in. Brooks is going to take us through the synopsis of Send Help. Before that, here's some of the trailer.
Look who's joined the land of the living.
How long?
You been out? Day and a half?
Have you tried making a distress signal or a bigger fire?
I was busy trying to keep us alive.
But getting us out of here, that should be your focus, not being Susie Homemaker over here.
What did you just say to me?
Let's not forget, I'm your boss. You work for me.
We're not in the office anymore, Bradley. No help is coming.
Okay, Brooks, lay this one out for us.
It's pretty simple. Linda Little works for a giant firm that's just been taken over. Linda Little played by Rachel McAdams, of course. It's been taken over by Bradley Preston. His father had promised her a promotion, and he has decided to give it to one of his golf buddies. And after she confronts him, he decides to give her a shot and says that if he decides to give her a shot, and if she attends, why can't I spit this out?
That's all staying in, by the way.
After she confronts Bradley, Bradley decides to give her a shot and says that if she can go on the trip with them to Bangkok to hash out the merger that's coming and save the day, she can possibly have the promotion that she was promised. And of course, as the trailer shows, the two of them land as the world's worst castaway couple ever, and Sam Raimi gets to kick it into high gear for all of us.
This movie, as I joked in the intro, is a comedy. First and foremost, a comedy. And it's not something that is entirely clear from the trailer. The trailer makes it look like Misery meets Mr. and Mrs. Smith, but it's really funnier than either of those two movies.
Or Misery meets Castaway.
Exactly. And it's
It
certainly
was Wilson.
It's certainly funnier than any mashup of any of those three movies we just mentioned. And I have to say, to start out, guys, that this movie shouldn't work. There's so much about it that doesn't make any sense. Linda's arc, the set pieces, the twists, none of it makes any sense. But there's something about Sam Raimi's touch that brings it all together in a way that, for me, was super enjoyable. Now, Adam, I want you to speak up first because I know Brooks agrees with me because we were together when we saw it, but you didn't love it as much as we do. So why not?
At least just not as much.
I mean, you need to go last because I need to see all the reasons that you guys loved it. Because I'm
That's
pretty
fine.
sure I loved a lot of it for the same reasons you did. There were a couple little like things in there that I was like, But I will remind you that this was my coming attraction a few months ago. And
It was.
I stand by the fact that it was worthwhile of being a coming attraction, and I loved it.
Okay, well then, Brooks, why am I right?
Well, one of the things that probably is the most surprising with the film working as well as it does isn't just Sam Raimi and his reunion with Rachel McAdams from Multiverse of Madness, but this is from the writers of Jason versus Freddy and the Friday the 13th reboot. I mean, Damian Shannon and Mark Swift. And I think those are still the only two credits aside from this. I don't know if maybe this was like a blacklist. Was this a blacklist script?
They did Baywatch.
See, again, They're just another nail in that coffin, so to speak, that
Another
it should
reason
not
why
work.
exactly,
They,
that's what I said. It shouldn't, but why does it, Brooks?
what's funny with this is there's all of those moments with Sam, and it does have some huge tonal swifts.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it
Oh
can
yeah.
be hilarious. It goes into some Evil Dead kind of moments. I mean, he's going from one end to the other with his own resume, but I think he's the one of the very few directors who could do it. And he just does it so well. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he wants to do. And thankfully, the studio let him. It just makes me wonder what kind of Jason versus Freddy we were missing out on this whole time.
One of the things that I think this movie could have really struggled with and should have really struggled with is what you said, Brooks, the tonal slips. The script alone is all over the place. Linda's character at the beginning is written like an SNL joke, like it
Oh,
should be
yeah.
played by Kristen Wiig and it should be over in 5 minutes. And it just absolutely doesn't seem like the kind of person you'd want to spend a movie length amount of time with. But by the end, you're so with her and you're rooting for her, even though she is a flawed hero, to say the
Oh,
least.
yeah.
And Dylan O'Brien has some of the funniest moments. He's the victim in many ways, but he's also the villain. But he has some of the funniest moments in the movie. There's one part where she talks about something in her childhood that's kind of pathetic. And he laughs for all of us. Like he laughs like a bro, but it's something we were all feeling. I don't know why this works. I can't figure it out. Brooks, you gave me several good reasons just now, but I'm just still not sure. Adam, what didn't work for you? Maybe that'll help me decide.
Well, it's very little things. I mean, we talked about how this is a Sam Raimi film through and through, and yes, towards the end you do definitely get that Evil Dead kind of motif, and I think that's kind of where I fell out a little bit. There's a certain scene on a beach where something flashes up, and it was very reminiscent of, oh, we got Deadites now. Like, I didn't need that moment. But now that being said, it did help with a tonal shift into the last act of the film when, yeah, this is like survivors from Evil Dead with the blood covered faces and hunting things and all this kind of crazy stuff and a plot twist you kind of saw coming like at the very beginning of the movie. I would say that I wasn't really surprised to find that out. So I think that detracted a little bit for me, but not enough to make me not love the movie. And this is carried by two people. I mean, yeah, there's some supporting characters who show up every so often, but you had to have Rachel McAdams and Dylan O'Brien work together.
It's a two-hander, full on.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So if they, first of all, didn't bring the charisma and everything they needed to carry the whole film, it would have been like if Tom Hanks, couldn't get along with Wilson on Castaway. Wilson was every much a bit of a character if he was, and not saying that either of these mains were as dull as a volleyball, but Rachel McAdams, we know she can do it. Like, we've seen her do this before. We've seen her hold her own. Dylan O'Brien, we've talked immensely about him over the last couple months.
We have.
And I love his coming into his own now and kind of showing like, hey, I can carry a movie too. And yeah, he gets to be that jerk bro Chad dude that we all knew and grew up with and we hated and we probably had as a boss at one time or another.
Yeah.
And he just weaves his magic so well because he almost starts to become a sympathetic character and then he doesn't and then he does, and you're kind of like, well, where is this person? Do I root for him? I mean, she's kind of going off the deep end now, and she has a moment. Rachel McAdams has a great moment too where it's almost like in Joker where she's that sympathetic person and then she makes a choice that flips the script, and now you're like, well, I don't know who to root for anymore.
Right.
Because they're both bad people, but who's worse? And
yeah,
I kind of think at the end we find out who wins, and I think they might be the worst person.
The worst person wins for the right reasons.
Movies that like feature a race to the bottom can be really fun. And that's what this turns out to be. It doesn't seem like it at first, but it's definitely what it turns out to be. And just like trying to make Jacob Elordi into a monster, it's impossible to make Rachel McAdams into a frumpy, unattractive person.
Like we talked on the way to the parking lot.
It's the whole remove the frumpy outfit and the glasses and suddenly you're hot.
Right.
So.
She's not believable as that person. The character she becomes is the one that is the most believable. And honestly, by the end of the movie, you're led to believe that's what she always was. But I'm not sure that that's an earned realization. I'm also not sure that it matters. It's not the kind of movie that needs to be interrogated to that depth. It's just fun. It's a blast to watch them go after each other. I was serious when I mentioned the Mr. and Mrs. Smith because there is a lot of tit for tat going on in this film. they do eventually get on what I would call a level playing field. And I think that's when the movie is the most hilarious. So for me, it's a comedy. It works as a comedy. It's nice to see Sam Raimi return to form. Let's go to scores. Brooks, what did you think of Send Help?
Well, with Adam mentioning like the Deadite scenario, definitely felt out of place, and I'm glad that they wound up doing with it what they did. Otherwise, it really could have gone off the deep end. But it also, I was hoping that's what they were going to do, so it made me feel better that he did. I was like, oh, please, no, please, come on. This can't be happening. And then I'm like, okay, okay. They didn't do it. He just wanted to squeeze this in. He wanted
Have his moment.
yeah, and I'm sure you two both caught his Spider-Man
Oh, yeah.
reference.
Oh, yeah. I do hate it, Brooks, when directors place their own previous movie posters into their current project. Like, I don't love that. And that did threaten to take me out of it. But this movie was too fun.
I love the Spider-Man reference the most.
You love all the references.
I like that one better than the beach scene. I'll just say that because it was quick and over. It was just like, here, remember this, and then you're like, can we go back to that? And but
Well, hurry
so
up and say
then-
4 stars because we know that's what you're going to do.
Well, I'll do 3.5. I'll give 4 stars specifically for the boar fight scene.
Oh, my
Oh,
goodness.
yeah.
And the end fight scene. Those are 2 for the books. They're going to go down this year.
Totally agree.
Like, if MTV is still doing their movie awards and they have best fight scenes, it should be Linda versus Boar. Because holy cow. So I'll just do 3.5 overall.
3.5 for Brooks. I'm at 3 stars. I had so much fun with it. I think it is a movie that I will watch again with friends and pause and replay scenes and talk about it with them. It's that kind of film. It's got cult classic written all over it. I feel like this is a movie that we're going to be talking about a few years down the road as one of those great memories. It's really fun. So 3 stars for me. Adam, go ahead and do your 2 stars.
No, I'm also at 3 stars. I was probably at 2.5 walking out, but I saw it a couple days ago, so I've had time to kind of mull it over in my mind. And yeah, there's like small sticking point, like I mentioned. I would be remiss not to bring up the fact that you could obviously tell that Sam Raimi likes the movie Hard Candy. There's a certain film with an octopus that feels like it's almost a shot-for-shot remake of a certain scene in that movie. If you haven't seen Hard Candy, it's a hard watch, but
I haven't seen that in so long.
It's worth checking out because it's very, very well done. But no, for everything you all said, it's Sam Raimi's coming back. He's doing his thing. He's got his little homages popped in here and there. Did he do the thing he always does when the thing flies at someone with the camera on the thing? I didn't see that one. I didn't notice that.
I don't remember that either.
The closest I think we got was that last shot with what happens at the end.
Right.
Yeah.
That transition scene is the closest.
Because you're always looking for that. It's like one of the things you always have to find in one of his movies. And I was kind of let down we didn't have that, but it didn't detract from it. I mean, Rachel McAdams and Dylan O'Brien carry this wonderfully. They pull all the stops. And again, I was right with my coming attraction. So 3 stars.
3 stars from you, Adam. 3 stars from me, Brooks.
3.5, which is another weird thing is that it's playing in 3D. Speaking of all these 3s we're throwing around. Yeah.
I would not recommend seeing this film in 3D.
There is absolutely no reason for it.
It's totally unnecessary. Go see it, have a laugh, but don't waste your time putting the glasses on. All right. Let's completely change tracks now and talk about 28 years later, The Bone Temple. Adam's going to run us through that storyline, but first, here's some of the trailer.
This is a memorial to the dead.
So, is this all you're doing?
It is.
Are you Old Nick?
Old Nick. You mean Satan?
Yes. Old Nick released his demons unto the world of man. And the world of man fell before the demons.
Adam, take us through this.
Well, this picks up probably minutes after the end of 28 years later. So if you have not seen that one, please do not go see this because you will have no idea what is going on. But we join Spike again, played by Alfie Williams. He has been kidnapped, I guess, kind of by the evil Jimmy, played by Jack O'Connell, and is forced to kill or be killed and join his group of merry evil ruffians who are trying to go serve Old Nick, the devil. In between all this, though, we have Dr. Kelson, who's played by Ray Fiennes. He is kind of becoming friends with Samson, the alpha we met in the beginning one, and we saw all of Samson again and again, like we do this one too. and begins to discover that there may be more to the infected than just the fact that they have this virus that makes them go and kill people. There could be a way of possibly healing them. In the meanwhile, though, the evil Jimmies are all running around. They discover Dr. Kelson and think that he actually is old Nick, and they all meet up with him to see if he will bless Jimmy or if he will destroy them all.
It's going to be clear with every word I say what my score will eventually be for this film. But I have to say, just to start, that this movie really is, Adam is right. If you haven't seen the first one, don't see this one yet. It is the second side of a perfect coin.
Mm-hmm.
The two things belong together as a complete whole. Now, it's interesting because the perspective shifts for Bone Temple in two different ways. Danny Boyle has left. Nia DaCosta is in as director.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it shifts from Alfie very significantly to the, maybe not the perspective, but the gaze of Jack O'Connell and Rafe Fiennes. Alfie takes a back seat to the two of them. It's really Jack and Rafe's movie. It's also Nia's movie. I want to start with her, guys, because we know her from the Marvels, of course. We know her from Candyman. We know her most recently from Hedda, which I don't think either one of you have seen, but you must.
I saw it.
It's,
I have it.
Okay.
Yeah, I have the screener, so
It's fabulous. It's really, really
This
good. A great
made
performance
me
by
want to
Tessa
watch
Thompson.
it
Yeah.
really soon.
And Brooks, the fact that you want to watch it is because I think you agree that Nia takes the ball that Danny drops, picks it up on one bounce, and runs with it.
Oh yeah, I mean the fact that she can almost outboil Danny Boyle is pretty incredible, but then also completely makes this her own movie. There's these weird moments of, not weird, but I think there's just some cinematography choices that are used to kind of gel them together more than anything. But otherwise, this is completely her movie, and it makes me happy to see her doing something so spectacular. It's kind of like you could say this is her Hamnet because, there was all the hype over Candyman and a lot of people got let down with that. And then there was the Marvels, which, I mean, it
I
has
liked
issues.
it.
It's fun. It's fun. We liked it. It has
Mhm.
issues, but it's fun. And then I haven't seen Hedda, but I feel like she's one of those directors that has a lot of hype around her, and she just had yet to prove why. And this movie just completely shows you with every second of its runtime why. The first thing I noticed, I think, that really sucked me in was at the beginning pool scene at the opening, and there's a scene of someone laying on the ground and just a shadow looms over them, and just the way it's shot and
Yeah.
edited together, I'm just like, okay, I'm in.
She has a great eye, Adam, and I don't think she only has a great eye. I think she's good with ensembles because the thing we liked about the Marvels is that compared to the grand, expansive scope of most of the MCU movies, that's more of a bubble plot. It's a really claustrophobic plot and it's an ensemble cast. And I feel like this is too. Most of the set pieces are in enclosed spaces and she handles them beautifully.
You're 100% right in that, because if we think about it, you could technically say the first movie, when it boils down, had 5 characters.
Mm-hmm.
You had Spike, his mom, his dad, actually no, 4 characters, and Kelson. Like that was it. That was the intent of the whole entire movie, was about their story. Whereas this one, suddenly you bring in this, there's like the specter of Jimmy hanging over the whole thing in the first one. You see his name everywhere. You see his name carved in the guy who's hanging up. It's not just a tonal shift from that more intimate thing, but yeah, now you have this whole cast of people, and the Jimmy's, giving out charity, which you'll find out what that means. And I promise you that no matter how prepared I thought I was for those scenes, I wasn't. I played Mortal Kombat, I played Dead Space, I've played all these games and watched all these horrible things, and no, it is grimacing. Like if you can watch that, just chow down your popcorn, like you might need to see a therapist.
Why are you calling me out? How dare you?
It
This
will
is
test
nothing
your
com-
stomach, this movie.
I will put that up against Terrifier and say this wins.
Wow, that's definitely saying a lot about me tonight.
Yeah, it is definitely. But
Adam
So-
trusts Jeff more than me.
Brooks likes gross stuff.
but she ended up taking what was an intimate film and still made it just as intimate with so many more people, and took away some of the stylization. Like if you go back and I highly recommend after you see this one, go home and immediately watch 28 Years Later again, because you'll see the movie in a brand new light. Like, the ending isn't jarring anymore. There's little lines that are said throughout the movie that make sense now in this new one, where the very first line and the very last line almost match perfectly. But she changed the way she did this shot. So when we're killing the infected, we don't have those cutaways like we did with Danny Boyle. In fact, you could almost say it's less even about the infected. It really does kind of go into the Walking Dead motif of these evil people who weren't evil to begin with. And Spike honestly becomes the perfect foil for Jimmy, because what's happening to them, how they grew up, the bad things happened almost the exact same time. And one person took the light path and one person took the dark path. And no matter how much they try to turn Spike, he keeps on saying no. In fact, the running gag is if you take a shot every time he pukes, he'll probably be drunk by the end of the movie. But no, it's completely different tonally than the first one, but it still manages to have those different over the top set pieces. I'm thinking of a certain song at the end, like a music video almost. I mean, that's just over the top and wild, but it fits perfectly with what she's trying to do. But it still manages to be just as deep and intimate as the first one, but in wildly different ways. And it sounds so hard to say that because like it doesn't make sense. But when you watch it and then again compare it to the first one, you're like, oh, yeah, of course. Like there's no other way to see it.
The music video scene could have easily ruined this movie, and it absolutely does not. It's the perfect, not ending, but the perfect apotheosis of this story. And Brooks, I'm curious if you agree with me that between Sinners and this, is Jack O'Connell like one of the great villains of our time?
Definitely on his way. I mean, if he pulls a mask off and winds up being the killer in Scream 7, count me in. Even if he's not even in the rest of the movie, I'll still go
He
with
just
it.
shows up and he's like,
He just takes the mask off and then it cuts to black and we're like, who's this?
That
I'd
would
totally
be a
buy it.
stroke of genius, and it would make me
Yep.
love the Scream series.
You're welcome, Kevin Williamson.
What about the other performances, Adam? I mean, Ray Fiennes, you talked about how much he steals every scene he's in the first. He's given a lot more work to do. This whole Samson subplot with, as you said, trying to figure out how to quote unquote cure the rage virus could have easily fallen very flat. But how do you think he handles it?
I mean, I think the unsung hero as far as the actors go is Samson.
Yeah, totally
Just
agree.
because, so he spends most of the movie under the influence of opium, excuse me, morphine, and he has to portray and do so much with like this dazed stoner look at it. In fact, part of the movie becomes a stoner comedy, which again
A
should
little bit
not
of
work.
it, yeah.
Dancing to 80s music and everything else, but everyone's on the top of their game. But I do feel Samson might be overlooked, which is why I specifically want to mention not only how important he is to the plot and everything that goes through. I mean, the movie wouldn't have happened, the plot wouldn't have gone where it was if a Jimmy hadn't seen Samson and Kelson together doing something. We won't tell you what. Again, everyone's on top of their game. I mean, even the little Jimmies that you don't care about, the ones who get 5 seconds of screen time, they're still important. They still have a role to play. They still get to be gleefully sadistic. But yeah, it goes down to Jack O'Connell just being masterful as always. I'm still an Alfred Williams fan. I can't wait to see where he's going to be in 10 years. And it's a good thing they filmed these back to back because he's grown like 8 inches
I know.
since they filmed it.
I know.
And there's some things that happen in the end, and there obviously will be some characters not coming back that I actually am very sad that we won't see again.
I'm glad you mentioned characters not coming back, because I wonder if you guys, well, it sounds like you don't agree with me, but I'm going to say this anyways. I talked about a coin before because a coin has 2 sides. And I feel like this is perfect and they should leave it alone. I wouldn't do more with this. Am I wrong?
My only complaint with the movie is that last scene. I don't think we needed it. I do think we could see more. And they don't know who's going to come back and do it. Like, well, allegedly it's been greenlit, but this one made no money. So we'll see what happens as far as the third movie goes. They leave it open for a conclusion of the trilogy. But that being said, this one, I mean, same thing with the first one too. It kind of ends, well, the first one didn't, but this one ends satisfying.
Definitively.
Except for that one scene. So if we never got any more, I would have been fine with it. But Nia DaCosta said they don't know where they're going with the third one. So if Danny's going to come back and do it, if Alex Garland does it, if she does it, or if someone else steps in completely, again, I do have faith in the process that we talked before about, hey, they've done this, like keep walking with it. But I don't know. I don't think we need more, but because of how it's going right now, we have to have more.
Yeah, the way that one definitively ends this time definitely means we need a closing chapter. And it would be very interesting if they pass the ball again and say Garland had a run at it and just have all 3 with different entries. And I think it would be a great idea. And it makes me think of with Nia on this one, how also, while over the top a lot of it was, and along with Boyle's, there are so many moments where she shows just amazing restraint on things that you don't need to see, that considering when it happens, which is when someone takes something to the back of their head, you know it's coming. You don't know when. You don't know how long the scene's going to play out. And then when it finally does, it's just, for lack of better words, way more impactful.
Well, you guys mentioning Alex Garland, you're just trying to trap me. Why don't you just mention directors like David Lowery or Jeff Nichols so that I have to watch the movie? You know how much I love Alex Garland. If he did it, I'd be all in. I'm nervous because I think it's perfect and I think they could leave it and I'd be happy. I don't think there's any need for me to even say my score out loud, but I'll just do it and then pass it on to the next person. 4 stars without question. Brooks, what about you?
Obviously, 4 stars for me as well. The cast is spectacular. Nia is showing us all what we were hoping to get from her eventually. I mean, we all knew she had it in her, like we've discussed. Candyman had some really awesome moments in it, and she did some really cool tricks, but it kind of fell flat as far as an entry in that world. And then the Marvels worked great as, like you said, as an ensemble. And she managed to get some hilarious performances out of everybody in that.
This director has done a Marvel film, Candyman, a 28 years later film, and an Ibsen play made into a film with Hedda.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what she does next. I'm
mean,
all in.
For being so all over the map as far as what the project is, she's just cementing herself so quickly.
So 4 stars for you, Brooks?
4 stars. And we have to also give a mention to Erin Kellyman, who was so good. And I can't wait to see her and Alfie. If we get it, I want to see more of her and Alfie.
She has never missed. All the things she's done, she's never missed. She has elevated every project she's been in. Thank you for remembering her. Adam, where are you?
So this just in really fast, Brooks. Demi Leone is handing off Terrifier 4 to Nina Costa. She'll be directing Terrifier 4.
Oh.
I think that is incorrect.
Yeah,
Yes,
now I'm that would let me down because I don't think she would know what to do with that.
Hey, she's done it already, but no, I 4 stars. Exactly the same reasons all of you said. I do think it's a flawed masterpiece in the end. That last scene, but I said the exact same thing about 28 years later.
You did. It's true. They can redeem it.
Yeah, they both have that kind of ending.
Yeah, to where it's just jarring, kind of feels out of place. But you've already proved me wrong, so I trust whoever comes next to go through it. But I mean, again, everything you've already said, I love it to death. I literally came home and made Clark watch the first one so we could go see it again that weekend.
Yeah.
And I cannot recommend enough to go back and revisit the first one because you will see so much differently. And yes, the ending doesn't stick out and slap you in the face. It's kind of more of, okay, I know where they're going now.
4 stars all around for 28 years later. The Bone Temple. Will this movie end up in my top 5 at the end of the year like the first one? I don't know.
And it's only January.
You'll have to stick around and see. When we come back, we're going to focus our attention back on Send Help because we're talking about guilty pleasures, horrible bosses. You're not allowed to choose one of the horrible bosses movies. I can't wait to see what you guys came up with. We're going to take a little break. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to episode 48 of Big Movie Mouth Off. I'm Jeff Counts.
I'm Brooks Bird.
And I'm Adam McDonald.
Guilty Pleasures, Horrible Bosses Edition. Brooks, you're up.
Well, this is one that I don't think I've done before because I didn't see it on our list, but I mentioned to you before we started it's an old list, so hopefully I haven't. But how could we talk about horrible bosses and not bring up 1980s 9 to 5?
That was going to be mine. So I
Same.
knew you were going to pick it. So
Same.
He's one of the worst bosses. Good old
Dabney
Dabney
Coleman.
Coleman.
Great
But I mean,
character.
when you're up against Jane Fonda, Lily Tomlin, Dolly Parton, you kind of have to. I mean, it's a good thing he was already so good to begin with. Otherwise, this really wouldn't have worked at all. But he's the master at being one of the worst people you could love. Plus, I have a soft spot for Dabney Coleman because a friend of mine used to be one of his assistants for a little bit and used to call me and leave his phone running while Dabney was telling him stories in the car, but that may be something I wasn't supposed to tell anyone, but I don't know.
I love that film. I think it holds up. I think it's super fun. Great choice. All right. I'll go next. I'm going to advance a little further into that decade to 1989. I also, Brooks, can't believe that I haven't named this movie before because I absolutely adore it. I'm talking, of course, of Christmas Vacation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, the boss
Yeah.
in Christmas Vacation is not like a sexual predator like Daphne Coleman. He's Clark Griswold's boss, and he's more of a corporate stooge who cancels the Christmas bonuses and gives everyone Jelly of the Month Club subscriptions instead, which causes Randy Quaid to kidnap him and bring him Dickens style into the house to experience the real magic of Christmas. It's totally ridiculous. He's played, of course, by Brian Doyle Murray. It's Bill Murray's brother, still with us, and he's great in the role.
And
And
he doesn't even have a ton of screen time,
he really doesn't. He doesn't get a lot to say.
but he's a Murray.
1989 Christmas Vacation. All right, what's yours, Adam?
All right. So my challenge is to see if either of you have even heard of this film. A friend of my old roommate was way into like the indie art house type films. So I'm looking at 2002's Secretary, starring
Well, that's
James
with Gyllenhaal,
Spader
right?
and Maggie Gyllenhaal. Yes.
I have never heard of this.
I've heard of it, haven't seen it.
So it's a very strange movie. It's not going to be for everyone. Basically, Maggie Gyllenhaal, her character, she has been hospitalized for causing self-harm. And when she comes out, she goes and works for a lawyer played by James Spader, but he's very old school and, only has typewriters, all this kind of stuff. Well, in the course of all this, when she keeps on making mistakes, he finds out that she's very submissive, and it turns into this very strange BDSM type relationship where the characters figure out new things about themselves. She manages to overcome her desire to self-harm. It's because all over the place, weird, not really creepy too much, but like it turns to this really sweet little love story, which you wouldn't think you would have with, a situation where you have an overbearing boss who spanks her when she has typos.
It's 50 Shades, Adam.
I mean, this is what
His
you
name
get
is
with a
great, yes.
Sundance movie.
No, it's definitely a Sundance movie, or it feels like one at least.
It
But
was.
it's interesting how they make her hold all the power despite being the submissive partner in this relationship. And
Ahead
I
of
haven't
its
seen it in a
time.
long time, but I do recall when my buddy put it on, I was like, what the crap are you having us watch? And then walking out like, this actually was really good. If anything, at least for the acting. So if you don't like the rest of it, go in for the acting because they do a really good job. Just understand it's not a movie for everyone and it may not be up to your tastes. So buyer beware.
Very guilty, this particular pleasure.
Oh, naughty.
Let's go through the list again. Brooks, yours was
9 to 5, and I'll never sing again.
what a way to make a living, Brooks. Mine was Christmas Vacation. And Adam?
Secretary.
All right, before we sign off, let's do our coming attractions. Why don't you start us off, Adam?
So mine, we're going back to a video game just because this year is kind of weird with movies and everything else. This is a game I played forever ago, and they are kind of doing a reboot, and I'm talking about Fable,
Oh, yeah.
which will be coming out this year. Now, the interesting thing is that it was taken over by a new company, Playground Games. They've only done the Forza games. So this is kind of outside their wheelhouse of what they try to do. But it's an open world game, kind of what you'd think of for the people who haven't played Fable was Skyrim. But basically every single choice you make allegedly changes the game. Like there's a point where you can choose to kill or not kill a giant. If you kill it, its rots and its skeleton becomes part of the actual environment for the rest of the game. The characters, the NPCs, you can literally follow them around from sun up to sunrise, and they have jobs and stuff they do every single day. And it has the morality system where when you do things, everyone reacts. It's not like the old ones where you get horns if you turn evil. So this has the possibility of being the next great Elder Scrolls while we're going to wait for the next 20 years for Elder Scrolls 6.
This sounds like it's going to be wild. So when does that come out?
Sometime in 2026. I think it's Q4.
Q4 2026. All right. Well, I'm going to talk about a television show. I'm extremely excited. It comes out in April, I think early April. It is an extension. It's a spinoff of the Star Wars Clone Wars cartoon, which I absolutely loved. And it's Darth Maul Shadow Lord.
Yay.
You're with me on this one,
I
Adam?
am, yes.
I'm super excited. I loved the version of Darth Maul that was in the Clone Wars. He was also in Rebels. One of the greatest Star Wars moments of all time is the last duel he has with Obi-Wan by the fire on Tatooine. It's unbelievable. But this all happens before that. This is Darth Maul post Phantom Menace and pre Star Wars Rebels. It's his life during the ascendance of the Empire.
So is it post Solo?
It's not post Solo. Solo happens in that same time frame,
Okay,
but
gotcha.
explains why you see him there. So mine is Star Wars Darth Maul Shadow Lord. Top that, Brooks.
Well, I mean,
Terrifier 4.
well, we'll get to that. No, mine actually is a horror movie, but it's from one of my more recent favorite directors. Well, another favorite director, recent director, Damien McCarthy, who did Oddity. I don't know if either of you saw it. Did both of you?
No, I know about it, but I
It's
didn't see
think
it.
one of
so.
the-
Hang on, let me look it up.
It was one of the
Yeah.
scariest movies of 2024. He also did a movie called Caveat in 2020, which is just so super creepy, but also kind of funny. But this time he's doing a movie called Hokum, starring Adam Scott.
Ooh, we like him.
I know. He's playing an author. He's moving to Ireland to spread the ashes of his parents, and apparently his rented accommodation could be haunted. So we're gonna get Adam Scott haunted by ghosts, surrounded by the Irish.
Adam Scott, the best thing about the monkey.
He's usually the best thing about most things.
I totally agree. So what's yours again, Brooks?
Hokum.
And mine is Darth Maul Shadow Lord, the upcoming animated series. And Adam?
Mine is the upcoming reboot of Fable, and also fair play to Adam Scott for being 52 and looking like he's 35.
Right? He's another one of those never agers.
Absolutely. Well, we've given you two movies that you absolutely must see. Go to the theater and see Sent Help and find a way to see 28 years later, The Bone Temple.
This is our plea.
It's our plea,
Yes.
it's our advice, it's our demand. See them back to back if you can, and then be amazed. This is a wonderful cinematic experience, these two movies. All right, we'll be back in a couple of weeks and talk about two other movies. Who knows if we'll like them or not? But until then, I'm Jeff Counts.
I'm Brooks Bird.
And I'm Adam McDonald.
Thank you for being with us. Big Movie Mouth Off was produced and edited by me, Jeff Counts, and co-hosted by Adam McDonald and Brooks Bird. Our theme music is written by Brian Z. Richards, and this show is dedicated to the memory of our founders, Jeff Michael Weiss, and my partner in crime for over 5 years, the incomparable Jimmy Martin.